two big trends that I've noticed speaking with freelancers and small business owners over the past 6 years in different cities throughout the United States and also globally. The first trend is that entrepreneurs, freelancers, they live and they die by their networks. Almost any freelancer I know, from my photographer friends in New York City to my food truck operators in Los Angeles, they all know a lot of people. They have incredibly extensive, diverse, rich, vibrant networks. They just seem to know all sorts of people, and that's really cool. But the problem is that they're like sitting on top of these massive oil reserves or natural resources underground, and they're not using them. Their network is similar. It's like this very vibrant asset that needs to be used for the benefit of the world, and also to benefit themselves. And I feel like so many people I meet, even myself, we don't leverage our networks nearly to the extent that we can and we should. We just don't really have the tools to do so on a consistent basis and to be able to reap the value from that. The other big trend that I've noticed, and I've also seen this in myself, is that most entrepreneurs, most freelancers, they want to build, they're in fact very hungry to build communities around their brand, their product, their idea, communities that last, communities that are not just based on vanity metrics like how many users or followers or subscribers one has, but really to what extent are you engaging your community, even if that's 10 people. If you're a fitness trainer in San Francisco and you have 11 clients, how are you consistently engaging them, not just by teaching them how to lift weights or use a kettlebell, every Mondays and Wednesdays, but really, what are you doing to engage your entire community of clients, of customers, of people who are paying you, and giving them value that ramifies well beyond just the session or the class. This also goes for language instructors and for people who are in the world of education, teaching people how to build habits, how to get better at certain things. But it also goes for coffee shops and public servants, local congressmen and mayors. How are they engaging with their constituents in a way that is appropriate and relevant and meaningful for the 21st century. So obviously that means using mobile devices, using messaging platforms that are incredibly intimate and connected. How are people doing that? So I think that there's a big need to build that community interface, that community kind of vibe more, especially among the freelancer class and people who are doing their own thing, because they're kind of doing their own thing. And that's also the first point I mentioned. It's how do you leverage your own network for financial gain and also for social gain. We're kind of past the social media upsurge where Facebook is pretty much saturated. You have LinkedIn, you have Twitter, you have all these platforms that are kind of brimming to the top with users and people who have followers. But I mean, what percentage of those are actually relevant, actually people who can deliver meaning to you and that you can deliver meaning to? So those are two big trends that I've noticed. And with the regulars, what we want to do is help people monetize their networks by encouraging their networks to deliver value to the world and by making strategic referrals. And then also to help people build their own communities via group messaging that are incredibly intimate and where those communities can revolve around certain chats, certain channels, certain subjects, some of which can be unlocked for a subscription price or for a certain price. So it's monetizing the real value in your life as a professional. And that value is the value of your community or the community you want to build, and the value of your extensive network, and obviously the value of the skill or product that you're delivering to the world. And we want to encompass all of that to help people build regular income in the 21st century and build a completely different livelihood, a different way of living and making income that we hope, that we know is far more engaging, far more meaningful, and it can make you far more prosperous than just having a day job at a certain, at a business or a corporation. Those days are well over, and we're excited to pave the way for the future to a new economy of regulars.